Hi everyone, I'm Jim Gray, the CEO of iRecover Treatment Centers and Behavioral Health Clinics. Welcome to our STEP series. I'm going to be breaking down the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, talk about the iRecover program and how we do it, and tell you some of my own personal stories and suggestions. And when you're sitting in treatment and you're getting clean and sober and watching these videos, and you're starting to perhaps struggle with the action of a program, remember where you come from. Remember, you wanted to change your life. And of course, remember who phoned who. Hi everyone, I'm Jim Gray, owner of iRecover. And I'm welcoming you back to this video 6 of our video series for iRecover. And this is about spiritual bankruptcy. If the problem is spiritual bankruptcy and the solution is spiritual awakening, where do the steps fit into this? So let's talk about what is spiritual bankruptcy. I don't know what spiritual bankruptcy is to you, but to me, spiritual bankruptcy is where I think about me, I, myself. It's never about you or them or everybody else. That to me is what spiritual bankruptcy. And if that's what spiritual bankruptcy is, then spiritual awakening, of course, is the opposite of that. And that's what the big book's going to help us with. So we went through step 1 to 3. And it's kind of the foundation of our program. Well, it is a foundation of program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the idea is that you had a drinking problem, you drank too much, and there is a solution. And the solution is a higher power. And you have to get through your mind, or at least I did, that the higher power isn't me. There is a higher power greater than me. And whatever that is out there, now I understand what the problem was. I understand what to do about it. And now I can go forward. Now that I understand I need a higher power, I can go forward and do something about it. So now we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at our character defects. I don't know if you got any defects, but I think I have. In fact, I know I still have defects. But our glaring defects are how we treat other people. And that's a good place to start. If you can start by changing how you treat other people and start working with your character defects, we're going to make a list shortly of our character defects. And you might think you'll have a short list, 1 or 2. But I'm telling you, when you get honest, when you get really honest, you'll cover pages with your character defects. Character defects create spiritual bankruptcy. Working the steps is the antidote to this. Nobody relapses when they continue to, work the steps. When you're here, you're going to do a recovery contract and you're going to do your I wills. A recovery contract and I will is kind of the same thing. The contract is about what am I going to do when I leave here. And the I wills is also, you'll put on a paper, not our suggestions, but yours, where you're going to say, I will take my daughter to the movie every Tuesday. I will do this with my wife. We like you to shorten that list to 10 or 12 things. And then when you leave here, you're going to give a copy of that to your loved one. And they're going to keep you honest by your I wills, not ours. So what does it take to break out of spiritual bankruptcy and isolation? There's a few things. There's honesty. Honesty with self and others. No more pretending, and that takes time. Trust. We don't trust because we were dishonest. Learn trust in small steps. And then risk. If you trust, we will be willing to take a risk. Sharing hard truth with people that could hurt you. Vulnerability. We naturally do not want to be vulnerable. Because our experience taught us we will get hurt. We need to be vulnerable to truly connect with others. Having an spiritual awakening is a result of working the steps. Remember the first time people responded well to you in group? Do you remember trusting someone and it paid off? Do you remember when you felt like you belonged in the group? Do you remember the first time you felt accepted and unjudged? The healthier we become, the less we feel like hiding from the world. And that gets rid of that isolation which drove us in here. Speaking about trusting that in the rooms, when I first come around, I was in there 4 or 5 months. And I'd listen to this guy, Mike Lawless, who's dead now, so I can use his name. But Mike would come in, and he was just holier than thou, and he'd tell you how it works, and do this. And I thought, stick it up here, because the guy drove me crazy. But you know, I was in there 4 or 5, 6 weeks, whatever it was, I can't remember. And all of a sudden, I had an aha moment. I listened to what Mike said. What an amazing man. You know, and the crazy thing about that is Mike never changed, but I listened. And if I can listen to people in a group, if you can listen to other people in a group, not so much of where they come from or relate, you did more drugs or they drank more, all that other stuff doesn't matter. But if you listen to the core of what they're saying, there are some amazing, amazing things, and you will have your own aha moments. So you're the one that has to change. The world won't change. The world won't change for you. You have to change for the world. And it's not a big thing, but when you start changing, you'll think the world is changing. It's an amazing event that happens here. It'll be an aha moment in your life. So we'll see you down the road on video 7.